Hello, and welcome back to Season 1 of Hey Ladies. I'm your host, Tanya. This show is dedicated to those who have a passion for fashion, a love for travel, and will mix in a little business. Now, today, ladies, I have something exciting for you. I read your emails, and a lot of you had questions about aging and makeup. So I thought, who better to give us some tips and tricks than my friend and personal makeup artist, Alex.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, Alex.
Of course.
So before we get into it, Alex, can you please let the ladies know what made you get into doing makeup and how long have you been a professional makeup artist?
Yes. Where do I start? I feel like I started with makeup when I was 15 years old. That was like when I started loving drawing and coloring. But what really took place is when I started watching America's Next Top Model. Season 2, episode 2. I still remember.
He remembers the episode.
I remember. So I remember that. After that, I just took over like the whole makeup brushes and everything. As far as being in the profession and then makeup industry now, I want to say about 7 years already. So it's been almost 15 years I've been doing makeup, but 7 years profession.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been I'm seasoned.
So the one thing that I do love about you, Alex, is that when you do my makeup, it's like you're painting a canvas.
Oh, yes.
You know, you are so detailed. Can you tell us a little bit about your technique?
The only technique I have and I stick to it is to take your time.
Okay.
I always like to take my time. I don't like rushing things. A lot of times when you rush things, it never comes in place. I like to plan accordingly. Like when I have a new client, I just look at their face first and I know what I need to enhance. You know, it's all about beauty is always enhancing what you have.
Right.
And one thing I always said to me is beauty doesn't expire, it just gets better. So it's just taking your time and being patient with makeup. That's pretty much the only thing I love doing and teaching my clients and everybody else.
I love that. Beauty doesn't expire, it only gets better.
It gets better.
I know you've seen it, and ladies, some of us are still doing it. Some of us are still stuck in the 80s and 90s when it comes to the blue eyeshadow and black lip liner. Can you please tell us why that's a no-no, Alex?
I mean, first of all, that's already a no. Let's just say that, no. It's funny that you said a blue eyeshadow. In the drag community, we call it garage stores. So we're gonna shut it down, all the way down.
Shut it down.
We don't want her. We don't want her. As far as the lip pencil, black, I see it all the time. And if I see any of you guys, your followers, I'm gonna start tagging you.
Ooh.
We don't want that. So, I mean, I feel like we're still stuck in our old ways. You know, I guess we're not comfortable trying new things, you know, but there's not a right or a wrong way to do it. It's just, there's just techniques to it. A black lip pencil, try a brown lip pencil. Again, MAC has one, Chestnut, has a beautiful color. But let's just not do that anymore. Let's just new ways and new techniques to kind of get out of our comfort zone and just try new things.
So ladies, let's leave the black lip pencil to our lids and not our lips, okay?
There you go, and then shut the garage doors down because we don't want to see her.
Shut it down.
All the way. Yeah.
Okay, lady, without further ado, Alex is going to take this face from ordinary to extraordinary. Stay tuned.
What we want to do, we always want to prep your skin first, meaning you want to hydrate and moisturize as much as you can. And normally you have to find out what kind of skin you have first. So for you, are you dry, oily, combination?
Probably a little combination.
What I like using a little bit of Embryolisse. This is really good for any skin type. Dry, oily. Not only is it going to give you that hydration, but it also works as a prime too. So it's like 2 in 1.
Nice.
So it's a little bit goes a long way. You don't really need a lot. The more you hydrate, I feel like it produces a lot more oil. So we're just going to use that a little bit on the T-zone.
Now, Alex, what about, you know, women in my age group, you know, as far as moisturizing? Is there something in addition we need to do, or what do you recommend?
A lot of hydration. So I would probably use more of a moisturizer. I'm the type of person that I like to work smart, not hard.
Gotcha.
So I like to have a moisturizer that could also work as a primer. But for more of like, you know, for example, more mature skin, you probably need a little bit more moisturizer and then hydration at the same time.
Okay.
I'm just going to use a little bit all over the face, not too much. And again, this is going to work as my primer, so I can skip that, you know, step, so it should be good. Now, if you're oily, you could always find a primer that has a little bit of silicone. That's going to really kind of stop the oil keeping throughout the day. So the next step we're gonna do a little bit more moisturizer underneath your eye. So this, for me, I feel like this is the most important thing, especially for women of age. You always want to hydrate underneath your eyes. So I like using this one because it's gonna give you brightness underneath, and it's a lot of hydration underneath your eye without looking very cakey and heavy.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of times, you know, people have those creases, and as they're putting their concealer or whatever is going underneath the eye, so this is something that'll help.
This is gonna help, and it's gonna pretty much work out throughout the day. Another one I like using, just in case you can't get this one, because this is a little hard to find in Sephora, you could always go to MAC and they have this cream called the Fast Response Cream. So that has a little bit of caffeine in it, so it gives you an instant awake underneath your eye.
Love that.
It's
We
the
definitely
best.
need that.
Listen, it's everything, yes. And then the best way to apply it if you don't have a brush, use your finger, especially the ring finger, because it's going to give you the lowest pressure without looking very heavy. All right, ladies. So the next that we're doing right now, it's a little bit of foundation. Now, as foundation, it gets a little confusing because there's so many out there. There's cream, there's powder, there's liquid, there's so many. I personally like using a little bit of the cream, just because you're kind of able to build it up based on what you like. So you like full coverage, you add a little bit more. If you want more sheer, you just add less, or you could use a brush or a beauty blender to kind of shear it out. Perfect. So now, as you can see, her skin is literally flawless. So we just added a little bit. You don't want to add too much coverage. She already has perfect, beautiful skin, so it's, you know, less is more. So you just a little bit. Again, if you don't have a brush, I would definitely consider using a beauty blender or a sponge, pretty much. And then you just want to cut a little coverage where you need most of it. And that's pretty much it. The skin is all done and flawless. I mean, look at Tanya already. We're gonna look concealer. So concealer, there's so many conspiracies out there. You have to put a lot if you have dark circles. You know, there's concealers that, you know, covers the wrinkles. I don't like to call them wrinkles. I like to call them fine lines. But it depends on what you have. Usually when it comes to like a little bit of, you know, dark circles, you always want to find a concealer that has a little bit of more of a red undertone. That's gonna kind of cover. Peep through the blue and the purple undertone, because if you would have used like a little bit of a yellow undertone underneath your eye, it would have started looking green. Yeah, so the one I'm using right now, it's from MAC Cosmetics. It's the Pro Longwear concealer. Now this is my holy grail, because not only is it concealer, but you can also make it as a foundation. Meaning, if you have your favorite moisturizer, you put a pump or two, depending on how much coverage you want, and it becomes a tinted moisturizer. Now we're gonna use a little bit of an NC50, just a little bit underneath her eye, not too much. Because again, ladies, less is more. You don't need all the coverage. Because then what's going to happen is going to start showing everything in your fine lines. And we're just going to dab. We're not going to put too much pressure. And again, if you don't have a brush or a sponge, use your ring finger because it has the lowest pressure. And then, fun tip, underneath your eye, that's the thinnest skin of your whole face. So you want to be very, very careful with that. Never drag, you want to dab. Okay. Alright, ladies, so now that she is already concealed and foundation is untied, I'm just using a little bit of powder, and I'm using the Mineralize powder from MAC Cosmetics. Now, you're probably thinking, why am I contouring, highlighting her? Because she doesn't need it. So what it contour you, it would bring those features even out more, and it will make you more masculine. And we don't want that.
No, we don't.
We don't want that. We're ladies.
Yes.
You know, so you don't have to be contouring and highlighting just because you see the Kardashians or you see these millennials doing all the time. You don't need it. Just a little bronzer, a little blush, and that's pretty much it. And that's gonna be the next step we're gonna do. All right, ladies. So now that we're done, I just added a little bit of blush. If you want to turn a little bit this way, just a little bit. Again, we didn't contour her because she already has that structure, so we could skip all that. So just add a little bit. Blush for me, it's a little bit like accessories to your outfit. So the next thing, which is my favorite part, is the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Now you and I know about eyebrows. You know, we know about eyebrows. So the biggest thing is you don't want to have no chola eyebrows. You know, because that's not cute. So what I love to do to find your brow is always want to brush your hair up. By doing that, you're going to be able to find the bottom of the brow, and then we'll go to the next step, which is getting the brow from the top.
Yeah, you know, that was one of the first things I asked you when we first met.
It was.
Can you do eyebrows?
I was like, look at Linda. Look at my eyebrows. I know how to do brows.
Yes, you can.
I was like, I know how to do brows. Brows is very important because it really structures everything in your whole face. Because you could go out and about having your brows, you just fill it a little bit and add a little concealer, add your favorite lip gloss or lipstick, and then you're ready to go.
Voila.
That's what I'm using. I'm using good old OG products from MAC. It's the Spike Eyebrow Pencil. So what I like to do very soft stroke. You don't want to just go straight and already, give you the Ronald McDonald eyebrow arch.
No,
we don't want
please.
Her. No, we don't want her. There's a little bit of soft strokes. You don't want to go too hard. So just a little bit more soft, as you can tell what I'm doing here. And then also too, big no-no, just because you have black hair doesn't mean you have to put black eyebrows. That is not cute.
Okay.
Not cute. Just use like a very dark brown, like a chestnut color, just something that's going to give you a little more enhanced, but not give you very dark brows.
Let me ask you a question. How far should the brow be extended?
So a good way to do it, I like to do the little technique, is having a pencil, your brow pencil, just here. That's where it should start. Never have it too close here because you don't want the unibrow. Here. Take it a little bit on the angle side here. That should be your arch right here. Now, as far as like where the brow ends, if you want to turn a little bit this way so you can see, if you put your pencil here, if you look at the corner of your eye, pretend it's still going, it should stop right here. It should never go more past that. Just a little bit like that. So you just want to do the 3 steps. The 1, then the arch, and then that's where it stops. So right now, we're not going to go too much, just a little bit more in the color here. So once we got the bottom of the brow, then we're good with that, which I feel like she's looking good already. We're gonna brush the hairs down now. And then we're gonna find the top of the brow and everything will come together in place. Now, as far as like the thickness, you don't wanna go too high, you don't wanna go too low. Literally right here where the brows start, the little hairs, you just wanna do the same thing what you did on the bottom of the brows and just kind of just follow the brow shape. Once we get the brow that we desire, and then brush the hairs back in place. And already it's gonna fill the brows already without putting too much product in there. Perfect, so now that we're done with the face, look at this. We didn't have no contour, no nothing, look at the brows. Brows are literally perfect for her face. So what we're doing now, we're just putting a little bit of mascara on her lashes. The way I like to do it, I like to really just go on the roots and then kind of wiggle and push up to kind of give you nice full lashes without looking very heavy. The next step we're gonna do is the lips. So as far as the lips, I like me a nice red lip, as you can tell with Miss Hey Lady. So a nice red lip is for me, it's my go-to. It's Ruby Woo and with a little bit of cherry lip liner from MAC Cosmetics. Now, Ruby Woo she's good, she's there, but we're gonna take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So this one is a retro matte lipstick, liquid lipstick from MAC. It's called Fashion Legacy. This is like literally Ruby Woo on crack.
Ooh.
It takes it to the next level and it's smudge proof and it's literally will not fade away throughout the day. You could be eating, drinking, it's not gonna go away.
Nice.
So what you normally want to do, especially like what we did with the face, you want to prep your lip by adding a nice moisturizer. So by doing that, I use a little bit of the Pep and Prime from MAC Cosmetics. Think about this like double-sided tape. It's going to give you the moisture, and then also the lip product is going to stick to the moisture so it doesn't bleed throughout the day.
Gotcha.
So right now I'm just going to add a little bit of a liner. This is going to give you that shape and the structure that we need. Turn a little bit this. Flat for me a little bit. Just a little bit more. Perfect. And this is just literally one swatch. I'm not going and dipping in the same tube. It's whatever I have in the wand. That's what I'm working with. Look at her. She's ready.
Hey,
Hey lady. I love it. This is good. This is beautiful. Voila. Beautiful.
Okay, ladies, did Alex do the damn thing or what? Hey, lady. Someone once told me that you should not use moisturizer under the eye and that you should use eye cream only.
I agree. So you definitely just want to stick to eye creams for underneath your eye. Underneath your eye has the most thinnest skin, so you have to be very careful with, you know, using your fingers when you put contacts, all of that, but you have to be specifically using eye cream for that area.
Okay.
It's the same thing with lip balm. It goes with your lips. You know?
Right,
So you just
right.
use only eye cream for underneath your eye, and then your moisturizer and other primers you have, use it for around the face.
Okay, ladies.
Yeah.
Eye cream only under the eye.
That's it. Period.
Now we're headed into fall.
Mhm.
What are some of the fall trends for 2020 in regards to makeup?
First of all, fall is one of my favorite seasons of the year, so I love it. One of the biggest the trends I love using is having a red bold lip.
Ooh.
As you can see, it goes for summer, spring, winter, fall, every season.
Right.
I love using burgundies, olives, brown colors that goes. Just goes with everything, especially for the fall trending time of the season.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting because it doesn't matter where I travel, London, Paris, Italy, doesn't matter. I always see a woman with a bold red lip.
It's a statement.
Yeah.
It's like, don't mess with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't mess with Miss
Yeah.
Tanya. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Any last tips and tricks you can give us, Alex?
Yes, I would definitely say take your time, be patient, and less is more. When I say less is more, it's specifically underneath your eyes. When
Okay.
you're using concealer, you want to blend and use less concealer and less powder, because especially for mature skin,
Right.
it's going to start going through the fine lines, and we don't want that.
No.
Just want to be, you know, just less is more, and again, take your time and be patient. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, ladies, you heard it from the expert. Less is
It's
more. Well, ladies, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Hey Lady. Until we meet again, remember, being a lady never goes out of style.
Be sure to leave your questions, comments, or suggestions below. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, and for more makeup tips and merchandise, visit my website at heyladybytanya.com.